Alrighty, y'all. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. We're going to do some coverage here tonight. Hope you guys have been doing good out there. It's been pretty rough lately, severe weather-wise. And I figured that we're going to pick up on some night coverage here tonight. But I hope you guys are doing good. It's good to have you guys here once again for another stream. Let's see what we got here today. We have Isaac, we have Logan, we have Raka, Dixie, Kayla. Let's see here, Ponderosa, of course, everybody else who is here, but just not chatting. Hope you guys are doing well. So right off the bat, we do have a couple of tornado warnings going on here. We have one actually just south of St. Louis, Missouri. Not for St. Louis, but just south of it towards Arnold, Cedar Hill Lakes, also including the areas near DeSoto, Missouri. This is a radar indicated threat, meaning that there's been some rotation that the radar has picked up on. Also, we have a couple other tornado warnings here to the west. These are also radar indicated tornado warnings here. For some of the regions out there, still in Missouri, for out there like Viburnum, I think that's how you say that, out there by Steelville and Sullivan. This also includes Gerald and Owensville, Missouri, here on the eastern side, kind of the eastern, slightly southeastern side of Missouri. Then lastly, we have another tornado warning up here in Arkansas, out there by the region of Shirley, Fairfield Bay here, Arkansas. This one is also, once again, a radar indicated threat here. There's been some rotation detected by radar. But anyways, that is what we got going on now. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing good. What's up, Logan? Say hey, Andrew. What's up? What's up, Rocka? What's up, Dixie? Saying Cheyenne Wells checking in. Hope you're doing good, Dixie. Kayla says, hey, Andrew. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good night. Hey, Andrew, could you tell me what my area can expect for Tuesday and Wednesday, severe weather-wise? Okay. Yes, I can do that for you real quickly. So, I will tell you this. Wednesday, we have a marginal risk. Level 1 severe weather threat here. Today is the big day. So, actually, well, overall, for you have a thunderstorm risk today. Tomorrow, you have a level 2 severe weather threat here, and you're good on Wednesday. So, Tuesday, being tomorrow, is the day that you should be monitoring the weather. We do have a 5% chance for tornadoes, 15% chance out there for damaging wind gusts, potentially ranging, 60, maybe 70 miles an hour. In terms of wind gusts could be possible, and a 15% chance in terms of hail. Now, it looks like to me, I just realized this, tomorrow we have a 45% risk. Here, let's bring up the cameras and stuff. Well, we got cams going. Well, we got a 45% risk. This is non-significant tomorrow, but that's certainly interesting. Hail-wise, just a big 15% risk here. So the main threat tomorrow, once again, another really big hatch risk for tornadoes, potentially some significant tornadoes. I hate to say it. Not for you, Kayla, but just in general tomorrow, we do have a big 10% risk out there for tornadic activity. So, yeah, once again, another big day from what it looks like. So, regardless, Kayla, yeah, you should monitor the weather. Tomorrow is going to be the day that you definitely need to be monitoring it. And then, of course, everything should be cleared by Wednesday. Anyways, what's up, Ponderosa? Your intro song makes me want to dance. Oh, dude. Hope tomorrow isn't bad. Yeah, we got potential for another big day tomorrow, from what it looks like here. Yeah. Is Illinois getting tornadoes later? So Illinois, tornado-wise, we do have a tornado threat here. Yes, for today and tomorrow. You can see here for today's threat, we have a lot of south central and southern Illinois in the risk here for tornadoes. And then tomorrow, a lot of central and southern Illinois. So between today and tomorrow, yes, there is a tornado threat up there. Robert says, hey, Andrew, I'm here in Springfield, Missouri. What's tomorrow look like for my area? Today was some pretty active weather for sure. So Springfield should be pretty good tomorrow, actually. So as that cold front kind of rolls eastward, it kind of pushes all that severe weather away from you. We do have a general thunderstorm threat tomorrow for Springfield, Missouri. A couple booms of thunder can't be ruled out, but nothing severe is really expected. So that's certainly some good news. Today was the big day for you. What's up, Sarah? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Scott? Saying hi, Andrew, and everyone else. What's up? Hope you're doing good, man. Dixie says, doing good here. All weather has been going around me. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Let's see here. Clarksville, Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee does need to be weather aware, including Clarksville. We do have a level 3 threat up in Clarksville here for tomorrow. That's a 10% hatch risk for tornadoes. So basically, within a 25-mile radius around you, there's a 10% chance of a tornado dropping, within 25 miles around you. Potential of which could be pretty strong. We do have the potential for tornadoes EF2 or greater. Damaging wind-wise, we have a 30% chance overall regarding the potential here. Overall for the potential of damaging wind gusts. Now, we're talking mostly between 60, maybe 70 miles an hour here overall. So, we'll definitely be looking out there for that. And then, of course, in terms of hail, we do have a 15% chance for hail there overall. Anyways, let's see here. Looks like my area is good, says Robert. Yeah. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Today was the only day that you really had to look out for, but at this point, that threat's pretty much over with because the storms have already kind of worked their way past you for the most part. You like the new overlay? Thanks, I appreciate it. I spent a long time working on it. I've still not perfected it yet. There's still going to be some changes here and there, some minor changes within the next little bit. I need to fix a couple of things. It's still a little buggy, but I'll get it. I'll get it perfect. What's up, Vicky? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. No, you're good. Midian, is that how you say your name? No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no problem, Kayla. Let's see here. Glitter says, hey, Andrew, hope you're doing well. You as well. Good to have you here. Brad wants to know, is there going to be any hail for me tonight? Can you check on the zip code? Yeah, I got you, man. Here. And then we're going to do a little update on the radar again, okay? All right, so you are up in Bloomington. So you do not have really much of a concern for severe weather today. We have a little level 1 marginal risk. I would keep an eye out there more tomorrow. Between today and tomorrow, we do have a level 1 marginal. I almost said slight. Marginal risk here, which does include a 5% wind threat, 5% hail threat. And in terms of tornadoes, a 2% chance here for tomorrow. So be weather aware. Keep an eye out there in the weather. There definitely could be that potential, a little bit of severe weather in the area here. But, the good news is that you're kind of not really in the heavy stuff. You're kind of in the, the lighter risk, per se. But, regardless, still potential for some severe weather. So you should still be weather aware. Okay. Let's see here. Renita coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Renita. That's very sweet of you, my friend. Saying, hey, Andrew, how am I looking tomorrow? I know I'll be up all night. Hey, Renita, you know what? Honestly, you are looking pretty good. So this is tomorrow's outlook. We have a big enhanced risk here. You up in Macon, my friend. You are good, actually. We have a general thunderstorm risk, so don't be surprised if you get a few booms of thunder here and there. You can't rule it out, but we're not expecting any severity with those storms. So Renita, honestly, you're looking pretty good tomorrow. So few storms possible. Also on Wednesday too, another general thunderstorm risk out there. So, Renita, I think you're looking good. I appreciate the 5 though. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Glitter says, so we got hit pretty bad Friday with tornadoes. Could you maybe be able to tell the chance it might happen again for zip code? Yes. And then, of course, I'm going to have to get into the radar. I know I said that, but I got you, my friend. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quickly. Okay, so you today, not much of a concern. We did a little level 1, but tomorrow is going to be the day that you need to be weather aware, okay? We do have a level 3 enhanced risk here. Now, unfortunately, this does include a 10% chance for tornadoes. There's a 10% chance for tornadoes, a couple of which in the region could be strong, given that we do have that hatch risk here. So we cannot rule out potential for strong tornadoes tomorrow, unfortunately. The odds of you getting one specifically is still pretty low, but, definitely need you to watch out for the weather. We do have a 45% chance, though, for damaging wind gusts between 60 and 70 miles an hour. That is a 45% chance of occurring within a 25-mile radius around you. That's almost a 50-50 shot, almost. That's going to be your main thing you need to look out for, too, is the gusty wind concern. Now, in terms of hail, we do have a 15% chance for hail, talking potential size between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. So that's kind of what we're looking out there for. So, yeah, definitely be weather aware tomorrow. You know, tornadoes and gusty winds are going to be the main concern, although all hazards cannot be ruled out. So, be careful out there. All right, so let's hop over here to radar real quickly, you guys. We have a couple of tornado warnings we are monitoring still. We have a tornado warning here south of St. Louis, Missouri, which includes Arnold, also for Cedar Hill Lakes. This is a radar-indicated threat, meaning that the radar has picked up some rotation going on over here. So once again, that includes Cedar Hill Lakes, out there kind of towards DeSoto, towards Ware, Hillsboro, Goldman. Remember, this is Missouri, guys. Cedar Hill Lakes, local, Scottsdale. Actually, they just de-extended for some of the regions, but still, Cedar Hill Lakes, Arnold, you know, those are the main areas there, but it's inside of that warning there. Still is radar indicated. Now, to the west, we have another tornado warning out by Sullivan in Owensville, also included Gerald here in Missouri, a radar indicated threat for 30 minutes. Got another one to the south for Viburnum, I think it is. Still not entirely too sure if I'm saying that one right. Also out there by Centerville overall. This one's also a radar-indicated threat. They did remove the one in Arkansas, though. So we are just chilling with 3 tornado warnings as of right now. I know the counter up there says 4, but from what I see, there's only 3 now. That probably still has yet to update. So, anyways, but yeah, they did cancel the one up there for Arkansas. So that's certainly good news. But, you know, of course, the threat's not over yet. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled. No problem, Brad. Glitter says, I really hope it doesn't get too bad. We are still trying to recover from it. Thank you as always. No problem, Glitter. You're very welcome. And I hope that it's nothing too bad either for you. Charles says, what about Athens, Tennessee, please? Yeah, I got you, man. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on for you. So you are going to be in that level 3. Yeah, so you're in the enhanced risk here for severe weather. So that does include a 5% chance for tornadoes. So you're actually just outside of that hatch risk for tornadoes. Tornadoes will still be possible. So basically, Charles, within a 25-mile radius around you, there is a 5% chance of a tornado dropping, which, you know, the odds are pretty low, but you should still keep an eye out there for tornadic concern. Now look at this. Damaging wind threat has you in a 45% chance out there for damaging wind gusts ranging between 60 and 70 miles an hour. So once again, within a 25-mile radius around you, there is a 45% chance of that. And then lastly, in terms of hail, we do have a 15% chance here for possible hail ranging between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. So yeah, definitely be weather aware. Your main concern by far is going to be the damaging wind threat. Renita says you're always welcome, and everyone who's in the strongest risk, stay safe. Once again, Renita, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're welcome, Charles. No problem. You are very, very welcome. I wanted to go ahead and hop you guys over here to this page real quickly. This is our current power outage map here. Apparently, let's go ahead and refresh this real quickly. Apparently, Missouri has a total of 53,000, almost 54,000 people without power in the state of Missouri currently. Arkansas has apparently a 33, almost 34,000 people without power, and Oklahoma has about 28, almost 28,000 people without power. So, and those numbers are starting to go up for areas like Illinois, of course, Kentucky still dealing with a little bit of power outages. And, as this storm system does, continue to push eastward, those power outages are going to be only expected to continue here. We do got a new tornado warning that just got issued here, y'all, for western Illinois, which includes Atlas, Illinois, Pleasant Hill, Illinois, and Pittsfield, Illinois. Also, a little bit of Missouri is included, including Louisiana, Missouri, Elmwood, let's see, out there by Clarksville. This is a tornado warning in effect, radar-indicated threat. So let's hop over back to the radar. We're going to take a peek at that storm here, see what we got going on. We're going to hop to velocity. See a little bit of rotation out there just south of Louisiana, Missouri, getting ready to cross the state line into Illinois. Heads up towards Pleasant Hill. You guys are in that line of fire here. Same thing for Atlas, Missouri, or sorry, Atlas, Illinois, and Pittsfield, Illinois. Make sure you guys are in your shelters and in your safe spots, okay? So just a heads up there for you. We do have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings still going on in Kansas, actually. We have a group of storms that's kicking off here. Wichita, Kansas, actually in a severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. Warning to the north out there for out there by Lindsborg. Is it Marquette? Is that how you say that? Langley and Brookville. This is another severe thunderstorm warning up in Kansas, just to the southwest of Salina for, once again, quarter hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here overall. So that's actually kind of what all those warnings are in Kansas. Relatively low in scale warnings, but still strong enough to where you need to be indoors and away from windows. You know, if thunder roars, goes indoors, that is no joke, because, I mean, even lightning's a concern. Absolutely. So just make sure that, you know, if you hear lightning, nice. If you hear thunder, go indoors, because lightning is a big concern, okay? But anyways. But yeah, you guys be safe out there. Mo says, Saturday, May 10th, around 6 a.m., tornado touchdown on my street. Ooh, that's not good. Did some damage to a lot of properties. Luckily, only tree branches fell around my house. No damage. Dude, I am glad that you got lucky, man. I am really good. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're okay, Mo. But anyways, so yeah, so like I mentioned, guys, you know, please just be careful. Keep an eye on the weather. So those watches that we have here, let's see here, probabilities, let's see, 2 more tornadoes, 80%, probability of, whoa, look at this, probability of 1 or more EF2 to EF5 tornadoes is a moderate 60%. That's, ooh, man, those are some decent odds here. Let's see, is this the same here? Yeah, 60%. Probability of 2 more tornadoes is an 80% chance. Probability of 1 or more strong tornadoes, EF2 to EF5, 60%. Whoa. Yeah, that's pretty, those are pretty high odds. Let's check the one up in, like, Illinois. Let's see. Okay, a little bit lower. Probability of 2 more tornadoes, 70. Probability of 1 or more strong EF2 to EF5, 40%. Yeah, so it looks like, you know, for that lower tornado watch up across, like, Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas, that's kind of where the greatest potential exists. Very large hail events up to 3.5 inches in diameter and significant gusts up to 80 miles an hour likely. Ooh, buddy. Buddy. But yeah, storms are definitely starting to work their way up here into Illinois. Do they have a mesoscale discussion or anything out for these areas? Here, let's take a peek real quickly at these mesoscale discussions. Yeah, this is for the tornado watch that already exists here. Man. Yeah, they don't have any other mesoscale discussions. Okay. Good to know. That is for sure. Man, I got a new tornado warning. That's a long tornado warning, man. They just kind of warned that whole line here that's coming through. I mean, because, yeah, I mean, I can see why. You know, these things, these lines like this, sometimes, you know, these little Boeing segments can sometimes spawn multiple tornadoes. So they're playing it safe by just issuing a tornado warning for that whole line, because, you know, they can develop very quickly. So certainly a good thing to do, per se. So that includes Viburnum area here. Let me put that here. Includes Viburnum, Missouri, also including Sullivan, Owensville, Gerald, Union, Potosi, maybe, Bismarck, Ironton. Let's see here, 36 minutes to go. Radar indicated threat here. So severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado were located along a line from 6 miles north of Gerald to 7 miles north of Ellington. or along a line from 11 miles southwest of New Haven to 25 miles southwest of Ironton, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Hazard tornado, radar indicated rotation. Tornadoes are difficult to observe at night. Yep, that's very true. So make sure that you are inside in your shelter. Don't wait to see or hear it, man. I tell you. Airborne says, could Huntsville, Alabama see a tornado tomorrow? And could it go moderate? I'd have to do some model analysis for me to put an input on that, but we're not going to do that right now per se. But what I will tell you is that Huntsville is in that level 3. Yes, we are in that level 3 severe weather threat, which does include that 10% significant tornado risk here. 45% non-significant wind threat. 45%, that's pretty high probs in terms of hail, 15% chance here overall. So, yeah, Huntsville definitely does need to be weather aware. Given the fact that, like I said, SPC does have that 10% hatch risk out there, we can't rule out potential for strong tornadoes in the area. So, we do need you to actively be weather aware and just make sure that you are keeping an eye on it because, there definitely could be some nasty weather in your region. All right, one thing I do want to take a peek at with you guys was the soundings here. These were grabbed from the latest weather balloon launch at 0 UTC, which launched about 4 hours ago. Up here in northeastern Kansas, looking at the sounding here, the weather balloon data comes through. Still really solid amounts of instability here. Very, very strong upper level wind shear. Lower level winds are pretty decent, actually. You can see a little bit of that veering profile here up across the region. For Arkansas, this is for central Arkansas, I believe, towards Little Rock. Does have, you can see the column here for wind shear, on the right-hand side with these barbs. The lower level winds are going to the north here, and as we go up in altitude, that aggressively changes directions to the east or kind of northeast here. Still really good amounts of instability, great moisture. Dew points in the mid 70s is pretty serious, man. That's a lot of moisture. Especially given the fact that our temperature is not far off from our dew point, indicating high humidity values. Regardless, dew points of mid-70s can hold a lot of water vapor, in which it is. So, that's going to really supply that storm with the moisture it needs, to get some of that activity here. And that's across Arkansas. And you can see right now that's kind of where we have a lot of that storm activity kind of rolling through here. The environment's certainly pretty potent here overall. Now, soundings, let's look back here real quickly. So, for the soundings, our DCAPE here is right around, I don't even think you guys can see that right there, 733 joules per kilogram, which, definitely could support some strong downbursts. Some pretty strong wind gusts could be possible, given the observation like that. Remember, this is observed. This is what the atmosphere actually looked like, and not essentially what it's projected to potentially look like we look on the model sometimes. That's observed data. That's from real weather balloon launches. So, definitely the sounding does show, once again, great moisture, tons and tons of instability here. And just kind of a concern for really all hazards here overall. Helicity was almost at 200. This is at the surface. Honestly, you should really go off the effective inflow layer, which is about almost 250 M2. So that's pretty decent. Definitely could support some tornadic activity overall. Anyways, okay, we have a tornado warning for St. Louis now, for southern St. Louis. Tornado warning in effect, including Sunset Hills, Green Park, Fenton, Parkdale, Baldwin, let's see here, Bernice Mill, Arnold, let's see here, Kimmswick, Scottsdale, Antonia, Goldman, Hillsborough, and Mappaville, Mappaville. That is a radar indicated threat here. So there you go. So southern St. Louis now has a tornado warning here in effect. So make sure that you guys are in your shelters here. Yeah, make sure you guys are in your shelters and in your safe spots. Okay. If you guys have a basement, storm cellar, make sure you get there. If not, go to the central interior portion on the lowest floor of your home. Okay. Let's see here. And like I said, guys, if you guys could, please consider sharing this channel in the stream here. That way we can help out as many people as possible. We still do have that one tornado warning up here for Illinois, including Pittsfield and Pleasant Hill. Also, Atlas here is included as well. So it's a radar indicated threat. So we have a new tornado warning up in southwestern Arkansas too. This one's for Euclid, including Davis Ford, Galena, Mineola, and Henry. Let's see here. This one is a radar indicated threat here as well. What's our closest radar? Fort Smith is our closest, man. We really need a radar up in like Texarkana. That would be pretty nice. But yeah, you can kind of see out there just north of Derrick's there. So yeah, heads up to y'all. What's the greatest risk for the zip code, please? Yep, no problem, Bella. Let's see here. All right, so today we're pretty good, but yeah, tomorrow we have an enhanced risk for tomorrow, which includes a 10% chance for tornadoes, and there is that significant risk, meaning that there is potential that we could see, possibly some tornadoes are pretty strong. Potential for tornadoes EF2 or greater. In terms of damaging winds, we have a 30% chance for damaging wind gusts between 60 and 70 miles an hour. And then lastly, the hail threats at a 15% chance between 1 to 2 inches in diameter potential. So, yeah, we definitely do need you to be weather aware. Tornadoes, damaging winds kind of seems to be the main concern. Okay. So, yeah, like we mentioned, we do now have a tornado warning for southern St. Louis, including Sunset Hills, Green Park, and Fenton. Did I see the likely 2-mile wedge in Kansas last night? I saw pictures. I did. I'm not sure if that's the one I was looking at, though. Earlier, I did see a pretty beast of a wedge. Yeah, nature's been pretty aggressive lately. Mother Nature's not really too happy with us, is she? Hey, let's take a peek at SAT. Well, we're going to pull up infrared. Yeah, why is infrared out of date? Let's try east, maybe? Yeah, goes east and goes west. Infrared's out of date. Oh, yeah, by days. This is 6 days old. I don't know what all that's about. Well, I mean, at least we got... Yeah, this the red visible's also out. Oh well. It's a glitch on this program here. What I can do for you guys. Yeah, no problem, Bella. You're welcome. Gate to gate shear is over 220. Dude, that's crazy. I wonder if Dow was on it. Y'all know if Dow's been deployed? I have no idea what the Dow is doing right now. Not stocks, by the way. Doppler on wheels. Yeah, look at that system, man. You see all that? Here, we'll go ahead and zoom into the U.S. here. I mean, shoot, that's just been something else, dude. Look at that! Wow. I mean, you can just see that strong low up across like southern, kind of southwestern and western South Dakota. Just really spinning up there. And then you got all that moisture pulling up here. And then once daylight heating occurred, it broke through that capping layer. Boom, everything just blew up. I'll believe it when I see it, Caden. You don't know how many times people have said that this just could be an EF5. It could be. Yeah. I've heard that so many times from different storms. I'll just see it when I believe it. Or I'll believe it when I see it. Oh, man. But anyways, yeah, that's certainly really interesting. Here, let me actually. Oh, hold on. Before I move on. Let's see here. What was I gonna show? I forgot. Sandwich mode. Oh yeah. Sandwich. Dude, this is by far like one of my favorite satellite modes. Really shows you that deep convection. I mean, look at that, dude. We should have mesoscale floaters. Let's see. Yes, we do. We got them beautiful mesoscale floaters, man. Oh, wow. You can see once it turned the nighttime mode. Sheesh. Yeah, you can actually start to see some convection developing up in like north central, going in like to nearly northeastern Texas. You see that? Here, let's take a peek at that real quickly. I'm curious to see what we got going on here. That's not. Oh yeah, there it is. Got a cell developing west of Fort Worth. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Paris, Texas. 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter hail. Since you mentioned Dow, Andrew, what's my suggestion? Any hot tips for... Dude, I am terrible with not politics. I'm terrible with stocks, dude. I would seek info from somebody else besides me. But it seems like they're afraid to give it you. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of media pressure, man, you know. I mean, if it's say this weather service office pushes an EF5 at some point, they're going to get the spotlight on them big time. Big time. And you know what? The longer it waits, the more attention they're going to get whenever it does eventually happen. You know? So it's like, while, you know, the longer the longer the drought is, you know, the more attention they're essentially going to get whenever it does eventually. Because, I mean, at some point, yes, there will be an EF5 again. It's just, when that next one happens, that weather service office is going to get a lot of attention. All right. Let's check up on these tornado warnings here. So these appear to all still be radar indicated, which is good. But remember, you know, radar indicated, radar confirmed, whatever, still need to be in your shelter regardless. So the one for Arkansas includes pretty much rural areas, but it does include Derricks, Atwood, Euclid, Davis, Ford, Galena, Mineola, or yeah, I think it's Mineola, Henry. We got 8 minutes left on that one. That's the one for Arkansas. We do have a tornado warning for South St. Louis, including Arnold, also including Sunset Hills, Green Park, Fenton, Parkdale, Baldwin, Burness Mill, Scottsdale, Antonia, Kimswick, Goldman, let's see here, Peevely, Mappaville, and Hillsboro. And then the other one here for Missouri includes Union, Gerald, Sullivan, Potosi, and Ironton. And then lastly, the one tornado warning here in western Illinois includes Pittsfield, Atlas, and Pleasant Hill. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty heated topic, which I'm not going to get into, but yes, so one of those I agree with. I'm just going to leave it at that before I get myself in trouble. All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. What time do these watches expire? We still have 3 hours on the watch across Arkansas. One for Illinois has another 4 hours. Oh, yeah, the southern one's going to go first. Storms are closing in on Little Rock, though. These severe thunderstorm warnings, though, are for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. What is this one for? Oh, that one expired. A lot of talks about tomorrow being another moderate risk. I honestly don't see it. Let me look. I've been having a lot of people asking what about tomorrow could be. What's up, King Jesus? Saying, what should Knoxville, Tennessee expect for tomorrow? Day 2 outlook. I'll get into the models here in a minute after that. So Knoxville, we are in a level 3 threat. So you can see you're in the enhanced risk at level 3 severe weather threat. So tornado-wise, we have a 5% chance for tornadoes. Okay, so within a 25-mile radius around you, 5% chance of a tornado happening. It's a little bit tricky with the wind threat because you can kind of see Knoxville is between the 30 and the 45%. So 30 to 45% risk for damaging wind gust potential between 60 and 70 miles an hour. And in terms of hail, we have a low 5% chance for hail. So hail is going to be kind of your least concern. Main concern by far is going to be the damaging wind threat, potential for strong wind gusts within the storm. And then, of course, yeah, I mean, we can't rule out tornadic activity either. Certainly is going to be a possibility. So, yeah. But if you have any more questions, let me know. All right, yeah, Caden, let's take a peek at the models here, man. Let's see what all this hype's about. Take a peek and see what's going on here. Mainly seems like a damaging wind event. Yeah. For sure. Here, I'll be the judge of that. I haven't looked, to be honest with you. I have not looked at the models much about tomorrow's event. I've been kind of taking it one day at a time, because it's been nuts lately. Okay, let me turn on the outlook in my other monitor real quickly so I can kind of see the general area. So it's mostly across like Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi, Alabama tomorrow. Let's pull up the NAM. The never accurate model. Okay, so lower level jet seems like, according to NAM anyways, possibly 35 to 40 knot lower level jet in place tomorrow evening across the great outlook area here, including parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. There is some veering wind shear, especially the further west, according to NAM here, for more of like western Tennessee, western Kentucky, and like northern Mississippi. There definitely is some veering going on in some spots. Moisture, dew points, yeah, that's not a problem at all. I mean, we were dew points here in the lower, almost mid-70s. That's some heaping moisture. That's a lot of moisture. And then lastly, instability. ML Cape here. NAM is showing a bunch of spotty Cape between 1,500 to 3,000 joules. So lots of instability, lots of moisture. I mean, I do see that 10% significant tornado risk here. I do. Do I see it being upgraded from this? I mean, obviously we can't just take one model, from what it is. But just say if we were to go off of what like the NAM is suggesting here. I mean, it's hard to say, to be honest with you. I do see that tornado concern. I really do. Let me grab a sounding in western Tennessee here for tomorrow evening or tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, I mean, look at the curvature on your photograph there. Beautiful little arch. Definitely showing that that veering wind column, that spin, helicity, 200. Sorry, D Cape's almost 1,200 joules. That could really support some strong downbursts. A downdraft energy of that magnitude could really do that. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I see where SPC is going with this. Absolutely. It makes total sense. I mean, yeah, main threat damaging winds for sure. Secondary threat tornadoes. Third threat hail. Anyways, What's up, Brian? What about 44905 for day 2? Got you. Day 3 as well? Okay. Well, let's take a peek here, my friend. All right, you're clear tomorrow. You have a general thunderstorm risk here, so you could see a few boom booms, but nothing severe. Same thing for Wednesday. Yeah, you're good, man. Nothing severe for you, Brian, the next couple of days. Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, tomorrow, and the day after, could see a couple booms of thunder. You know, we can't rule it out, but, you know, we're not expecting anything severe, so you're looking pretty good out there, my friend. All right. They canceled the one warning for the western side of Illinois. No longer in effect. Still got that tornado warning here for South St. Louis, including Sunset Hills, Green Park, Fenton, Parkdale, Arnold, Atonia, Kemswick, Peevely, and Goldman. Also, they got that one warning towards Union, Gerald, Sullivan, Missouri, by the way, Potosi, and Ironton. And I believe that is all of the tornado warnings here. Yeah, no, there's no more in Arkansas as of right now. So I think these are the only 2. Yeah, no problem. Brian, you're welcome. We're lucky we don't get nasty weather here in Cleveland. Yeah, same here in Florida. It's been quiet. A little too quiet. Kat says anything crazy for me. Let me look. All right, so you, my friend, I want to say you're in a slight risk. Yeah, you're in that level 2 threat tomorrow, Cap, which does indicate a 5% chance for tornadoes, a 15% chance for damaging wind gusts, and a 5% chance for hail. As of right now, the wind threat for tomorrow is non-significant. I would assume that that's going to change tomorrow, though. I bet you it's going to go hatch tomorrow. I bet you we'll probably see a 45 sig wind threat tomorrow. I mean, you know, looking at some of them soundings you're pulling, you know, high that high D cape will do that. You know, potential for strong downbursts and stuff. I would not be surprised if tomorrow is a sig wind threat at least. Hail is 15%. Yeah, hail's the last of the concerns. Caden says, I'm going to hop off for the night. Got to work tomorrow. Have a great night. Great day tomorrow, my friend. Yeah, you too, dude. I appreciate you joining. You take care, man. All right, let's hop back radar. Yeah, so the only 2 tornado warnings we have right now are up here in eastern Missouri. One of them is for South St. Louis, including Arnold, Fenton, Sunset Hills, Green Park, and Parkdale. Yeah, no problem, Kat. You're welcome. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Hey, man, you know, that's what this coverage is here for. You know? I do it to help y'all out as much as possible. We do got a few camps we can peek at. Let's see here. I'm going to refresh this here. Yeah, storms are closing up on Little Rock. Getting close anyways. So do we have any cameras in the war? Ooh, we sure do, buddy. Sure do, buddy. This is pointing west. Yeah, is that the camera we were just on? That sig tornado is still close. Yeah, I mean you're in that slight risk though. They just updated all the watches. So we got 3 hours left on that northern watch. The one up in Illinois and Missouri. That one still has 3 hours left. The one down towards Arkansas here, we still have 2 hours. 2 hours. I really wish that this program would allow looping of satellite. That would be pretty nice. It's coming down pretty good on that camera. That it is. GLM flashes. Yeah, look at this, y'all. Y'all ready to see something crazy? Look at all them lightning flashes, dude. Like, holy cow. There, yeah, look at that. Look at all them flashes. These one of the little pluses, that's a lightning flash. You see how energized the atmosphere is? It kind of looks like that line is breaking up a little bit in Arkansas. You see how it starts to thin out? Oh, wow, Cap. That's crazy. Glenda says, can I please look at my risk here? I'm scared. Do I think you'll get an enhanced? Let's take a look. See what we got going on for you. Don't be scared, Glenda. You'll be all right, my friend. All right, so you are in, yeah, you're in a slight risk here. You're in a level 2 threat. That is a 5% chance for tornadoes, a 15% chance for damaging wind gusts, and a 5% chance for hail. So, I mean, you're kind of far, still a little bit away from that enhanced. Looking at models and stuff, I mean, there is going to be a pretty good amount of instability out there. It does look like. It does look like that lower level jet probably won't be as strong as it will be for areas further west of you. Yeah, the ingredients aren't as potent over where you're at as it is to the west. I mean, you can see, I mean, over in the east, we still do have a good amount of instability and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's a little bit more hefty the further west you go. You know, the more instability. You know, more deeper moisture. I mean, your dew points are going to be in the 60s, and the western side of Tennessee is probably going to be in the in the 70s, maybe mid 70s in some spots. I mean, yeah, instability, you know, wind shear, moisture, the three really main things. Yeah, if we're just going off of NAM, probably not. Here, let's do. Oh, we got the 0 Zulu run here. Simulated reflectivity. Yeah, so you can see the storms do come through fairly late, actually, like around midnight, possibly. It will be fairly late by the time that the storms do work their way over there. So hopefully that helps, Glenda. Got a new tornado warning here in Missouri towards Farmington, or including Farmington, Bonnie, Terry, Somerset, DeSoto, Bloomsdale. Let's pull up the radar here. Yeah, that line has been kind of looking a little gnarly. Yeah, you know, we just gotta really watch out for those, because those can just quickly spawn tornadoes, like really quick. So that's why they're kind of warning that whole line. John says, thankfully for Chicago, no severe risk today and tomorrow, only thunderstorms. Yeah, Chicago, we do have that level, that thunderstorm risk here today and tomorrow. Yeah, Glenda, probably not. I mean, I'm not SPC. I can't be for sure. Plus, models, things can still change a little bit. Like observations and stuff, too, could point otherwise by the time we approach tomorrow. So I wouldn't rule it out completely, but I would lean as more likely not. But we'll see. It does look like the ingredients do dwindle down a little bit where you live as comparing to the west here. Like, it does look like it calms down a bit, but still there is those ingredients in place, which, yeah, I mean, still could cause some severe weather. But Glenda, I wouldn't really worry about it, to be honest. I would, certainly be weather aware tomorrow. Keep an eye on the weather, but try not to worry yourself about it. Okay, you'll be fine. You'll get through it. As long as you are taking those warnings seriously, and even if you do, I mean, you're not even guaranteed to get a warning. But if you do, just don't ignore it. The people who obey the warnings and go off with them have a much better chance at making it through unscathed than the people who ignore the warnings. People who ignore the warnings are the ones that most danger, essentially. So, yeah. So with that being said, just keep an eye on it. We'll be fine. We'll get through it, okay? I know it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes. I get it. I used to be terrified of storms myself. But, kind of once I started to learn them and, just learn how they work and know what to look out for, and that's brought some peace to me. And, I'd recommend the same for people with really bad storm phobia. At least learn how to read radar, velocity, correlation coefficient, reflectivity. I mean, that's really all you need. All right, let's see here. Definitely do got some Kirby Hodos still up in Arkansas. Arkansas. LNA says good times in Kansas. Kansas got a little bit of activity going on right now. Is that what you mean by good times? You enjoying a good storm or something? Here, let's bring this back up. Yeah, we got a couple severe storms up in Kansas, even Wichita. A severe thunderstorm warning for Wichita. Ooh. 60-mile-an-hour winds observed, too, man. Wow. Oh, look at that outflow boundary on that thing. Dang, man. All right, I see you. Yeah, you see that little noodle? That's your outflow boundary. So that's essentially the cold, cooler downdraft air coming down from the storm. And we call these gust fronts, too. Outflow boundaries, gust fronts, is what they're known as, and they can make conditions a little bit windy. Temporary spike increase in pressure because of the air pushing down. So you notice a pressure increase, wind increase, dew points decrease, temperature decrease. Yeah. LNA wants me to look at a zip code saying yes. Period. Zip code. Yeah, let me take a peek, man. See what you're doing with. Oh yeah, wow. What are the odds? We're talking about your storm. Yeah, it looks like you're kind of on the southern tail of it. Probably going to be pretty gusty where you're at. Is it windy out there? I mean, just looking at radar, I can just imagine how windy it is. Yeah, I mean, apparently 60-mile-an-hour winds have been observed on that storm too. It's not just indicated, that's observed. What's up, LV Raider? Saying, is that storm heading towards Des Moines, Iowa? No, I think Des Moines' good. Yeah. So at this point in time, let's take a peek at the radar here. Yeah, so we do. Ooh, hold on a minute. Let me check velocity real fast. Okay, we're good. We do have some storms kind of coming through Des Moines, but yeah, these guys ain't severe. Just a little bit of moderate rainfall, moderate heavy rainfall. A little bit of thunder, lightning though. But yeah, these ones right here, these are not severe. The ones up here by Des Moines. Okay. Severe ones are further south. New tornado warning for Fredericktown and Marquand, eastern Missouri. Yeah, no problem, Raider. I got you. If you have any more questions, let me know, okay? It goes for all of you guys. If y'all have any questions, you make sure you let me know, okay? I am more than happy to help. You know, that's the whole point of this channel, y'all, and this stream, is just to make sure that you guys are staying weather aware and prepared. Ooh, Fort Worth is under a severe thunderstorm warning now for 1.25 inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, when we were looking at satellite, I was noticing that convection that was starting to kind of zip down the main frontal boundary. Which, I mean, you could actually see if we hop over here to this satellite view. You see how it's starting to kind of zip down? That's very interesting. This thing's a beast, dude. Yeah, you see the low up there? That's the core. Man. But yeah, Fort Worth is under a warning now, so heads up to you guys. Let's see here. ATIF girl says thank you, no problem. I have no idea how you say your name, so. But you're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. LNA says very windy when it came through. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that storm does look pretty goosty. Got another warning to the north here for Lindborg and New Gotland and Canton. Wow, this one's actually observed for 70. What, a Mesonet get it or something? Train spotter measured a 75-mile-an-hour wind gust in Bridgeport. Was that like via guesstimates, or was that like handheld anemometers, or I don't know. I wish they'd provide more info on that, you know? Atlanta, Florida girl. Oh. Is that what that means? Atlanta, Florida girl? Okay. I'm in Panama City. Super humid here. Yeah. I mean, it is here too. So you're up in Panama City. I am down here in good old Polk County. Glenda, no. Nah. Yeah, we're not even sure if tomorrow will even go moderate. Get alone your area. See, you're not even in the highest risk as of now. So, no. Went from Miami to Atlanta. Nice, JC. Yeah, it's been so humid here though. It's crazy. Our dew points have been in the well in the 70s last several days. We've been getting upper 90s too. It's that time. Florida's doing a Florida thing. Classic Florida. All right, they canceled that warning for South St. Louis, by the way. So we're just left with these 2 tornado warnings here as of now. Knock on wood. Farmington, heads up to y'all. Yeah, this whole line's just capable of producing quick tornadoes. Somerset, DeSoto, eastern Missouri, by the way. Farmington, Bloomsdale, St. Mary, Fredericktown, and Marquand. These are radar indicated. If we go into La Nina, we'll be okay with hurricanes this year. La Nina means more active Atlantic hurricane season because of the decrease of trade winds. towards the equator. Or, obviously hurricanes can't go through the equator, but, north of the equator, essentially, there's trade winds. For a below normal season, you would want an El Nino. We're going in neutral season. We're going to go into a neutral state, so not El Nino nor La Nina. That's what's in the forecast anyways. I mean, who knows? Still, even despite being in neutral conditions, we could see maybe a slight above season. I don't think we're going to get as active as last year, to be honest, but probably a little bit under that. You're into golf, so we're okay. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a little hard to see where those things will go, man, They're very random. Nature's just like, who should I destroy next? Oh, jeez. Could you explain what indicators would be for tornadic weather, barometric pressure, dew points? So pressure doesn't have to do much with tornado development. Typically you need a really strong low. So for example, what's going on now, and the reason why we have this, if you look up north, we have this really strong area of low pressure that's kicking up. So because of this is increasing our winds throughout the atmosphere, both at lower and upper levels. Okay, think of the atmosphere as a bunch of pancakes stacked on top of each other, and each pancake represents a certain layer of the atmosphere. And, not the entire atmosphere, there's certain layers that blow at certain directions and at certain speeds than one another. And so it's essentially happening, and for tornadic activity, you need, typically in a pretty good event, you would need those lower level winds towards ground level, slightly above ground level, moving pretty much to the north, coming from the south to the north. And as you go up in altitude, you need those winds to change their direction more to the northeast. And because of that increases, essentially because of that, you get that varying wind shear, which, that aggressive change in wind direction and an increase in wind speed can create potential rotating storms we call supercells. And there's other ingredients. Yes, we do need good moisture. Typically we like to measure our moisture supply and dew points. People would think it's humidity that we're after. Not necessarily. Dew points is a much better indicator because dew points, the higher the dew points, the more moisture the air can hold, the higher the dew point is. So for example, if you have the dew point at 32 degrees, or we'll say 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll also have our temperature at 33 degrees, that would be 100% humidity. So if your temperature is the same as your dew point, it is 100% humidity. Say the same thing for 87 degrees. Well, that's kind of a rough scenario. We'll say lower 80s, 83 degrees. Shoot, let's go 70s even. 75 degree dew point, 75 degree temperature, 100% humidity. Does that make sense? So you can't really go off of humidity because it means different things at different temperatures. The higher your temperature is at higher humidity, the more moisture there is. I'm trying so hard not to confuse anybody. But I hope that makes some sense, maybe. I'm not the best teacher, but, But yeah, moisture is a really important one. Moisture, wind shear, the change in wind direction and stuff with altitude, and instability, the fuel. And there's something we call lapse rates, which is basically the drop off in temperature as you go up in altitude. So basically it's how much the temperature drops with a 1 kilometer gain in altitude. And we call this lapse rates, which, the steeper the lapse rates, the more aggressive the temperature cools down between A and B. And, if you have steep lapse rates, that could lead to a lot of instability or a very unstable environment. Because for thunderstorms, you need the warm, moisture-filled air that's on the surface to rise into the cooler, more drier air above. Now, if the air above is warmer than that warm air that's rising, it'll equal out. And that's what we call a capping inversion. That's basically where the environment is stopping thunderstorm activity because the surrounding air around it is warmer than the air that's trying to rise. You need a constant cooling for convection to continue. Anyways, far off track. That's what I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully that helps, and maybe that'll kind of open some doors for you guys. Maybe, hopefully, making it a little bit more understandable. I could do a whole education series maybe one day. Anyways. But, you know, I'm not necessarily the best teacher, so I'm sure there's a lot of better videos out there than I could ever make on it. Thank you, because I do know when the barometric pressure is high, I tend to get a migraine. Yeah, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, a lot of it's a rapid change in pressure, you know, going from low to high or high to low that can induce migraines. It's only 53 degrees here right now in Iowa, so I'm not thinking tornado possibilities. Probably not. No. Probably not. I wish there was observations on this site I use here. All right. Anyways, so we got ourselves about 3 hours left on this tornado watch for south, or I should really say eastern Missouri and southern Illinois. Got 3 hours. The one for Arkansas, a little bit of Texas, and a little bit of Oklahoma expires in 2 hours. 2 hour. What's up, Raka? When you get a bad hurricane, the pressure drops, and it will make you really sick. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It'll make your ears pop. Last year during Milton, whenever I was in the eye wall of Milton, I was literally in that northern eye wall. As soon as we got like into the lower pressure, like my ears were popping, which was crazy because it's like the same effect as you go up in a mountain. Same thing, you know, the pressure's dropping as you go up. You know, the higher you go up, the thinner the air gets, lower the pressure. You know, less molecules are being pushed down on you. Yeah, same thing for strong lows as well, like hurricanes. Yes, because a hurricane is just a strong area of low pressure, essentially. And you know, all that air is rising up, you know, towards the core of the storm, which is releasing less molecules on you, making essentially a little bit. I mean, I would say lighter, which kind of, but yeah, it takes less molecules off of you. Anyways, yeah, Rocka, I got you. Let's see here. Could you tell me what I'm in for tonight and tomorrow in West Central Indiana? I think, yeah, no problem. I got you, Rocka. Let's go ahead and take a peek here. All right, so we are in a level. Oh, I lost your area. Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Let's try that again. All right. Dude, you were right on. Look at that. You were like right on the edge of between the level 1 and level 2. But you're in a level 2. Okay. So you have. Dude, you could walk between the 5% tornado risk and the 2%. You could literally walk between the two, I'm sure. So between 2 and 5% chance for tornadoes. We have a 5% chance for damaging wind gusts and a 5% chance for hail. Yet somehow you're in the level 2 risk, even though that doesn't line up. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, a little bit of a severe weather threat tomorrow. I would keep an eye on it. You know, if there's any warnings, make sure that you are keeping an eye on that. You should do an educational thing. I would watch it. Maybe I will. During Michael, we were in while washing headaches. You're hurting some. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the pressure difference will do that. You know, and sometimes it's not. I'm no doctor or whatever, but I think what a lot of it is the aggressive change from said high pressure to low pressure. You know, the sudden change. You know, the quick change. Because in a hurricane, the pressure tanks the closer you get to the core. You know, as you get towards the eye of the storm, the pressure drops off quick. And I think it's that aggressive shift in pressure is what causes you to do that. Is what causes you to be more sick. Because if it was more gradual, say over a longer period of time, more gradual, I'm sure it would be much more mild. But yeah, hurricanes, they drop pressure quick. Even some thunderstorms even could. If it's strong enough updraft, it simulates some air being pulled off of you in a lower pressure if you're under the updraft. Let's see here. Nature hit last summer. I feel like it was going to explode. Oh, yeah. Literally feel my house, the pressure. That's crazy. You know, it's crazy you say that because last year when I was in the eye wall of Milton, I felt that exact same thing. It's just the crazy fluctuations in pressure that was causing that, you know? Yeah, I mean, you tend to know that with those storms, too. You know, the winds, whenever they really kick up like that, you know, the sudden change in pressure and everything. Pressure and winds correlate pretty close with each other. You know, they're not 100%, you know, linear to each other, but they can definitely correlate with each other. And but yeah, I mean, you can literally feel the house like breathe sometimes, which is it's crazy. You know, during hurricanes and stuff. All right, let's do a quick little update here on the radar. We do have a tornado warning south of St. Louis. This includes Bloomsdale, Missouri, also including Farmington. This is a radar indicated threat. Also, we have Fredericktown and Markwind here too. Also radar indicated. So make sure you guys are in your shelters away from windows. What's up, Caitlin? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Pressure up and down. Yeah. Caitlin wants me to take a look at a zip code. I got you, my friend, for tomorrow. Turns out that F1 tornado blew a huge tree through my kitchen window. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right, Caitlin, I got you, my friend. You are not far from where I used to live. That's crazy. I used to live up in Kentucky a little bit ago. All right, so you are in a level 2. Slight risk here. You have a 5% chance for tornadoes tomorrow. You got a 15% chance for damaging wind gusts. We're talking between 60 and 70 mile an hour wind gusts within the storm. This is not outside of storms, by the way. This is within the storm. And in terms of hail, we have a 15% risk for hail as well. So you're in a level 2 threat as of now. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, you're kind of near. You're near that enhanced risk. I don't know if you're going to get pushed into it or not. We'll have to see, but you're close. That the enhanced risk kind of starts by Elizabethtown, and I'm sure you probably know where Elizabethtown is. That's where the enhanced risk level 3 threat starts. So it's not super duper far. Not super duper far. We'll have to see if something happens, but anyways, hopefully that helps. What fascinates me is when I watch tornado videos, I see the wind creep that it hits. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy. I mean, so with tornadoes and stuff, you know, you got your inflow, you know, that warm air kind of rushing into the storm. And then you got something called your rear flank downdraft, which is wrapping cold air behind the tornado, and it hits the ground. So you have warm air rushing in and cooler air pushing down. And so we have that here. Let me do an example here real quickly. We'll go ahead and bring up my little pen here, because why not? So say you have a hook echo, right? So you have a storm that kind of looks like this. Classic supercell, right? Looks terrible. Anyway, so yeah, you get a lot of the warm air that kind of pulls in. And then you get what I was talking about, that rear flank downdraft, which is the cooler air that pulls back. So, you know, you kind of get this rotation going on. There's also something called a forward flank downdraft, too, which is, you know, another downdraft of cold air, more in the precipitation core, which essentially that's, you know, that's where you can see some big hail and stuff, you know, especially if it gets caught in a downdraft. I mean, you got some heavy hitting hail. But that's some of the dynamics of a, you know, kind of a classic supercell. Anyways, enough of that. Man, we're doing an educational stream tonight, aren't we? It's good, though. You know, it's good. What is Yazoo looking like? Yazoo is in a level 2 threat tomorrow. That includes a 5% tornado risk, a 15% wind risk, and a 15% hail risk. Let's see here. So scary. Born and raised in Iowa. Been through many storms, but that whole feeling of the high pressure is new to me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It is. All right, good night, Atlanta, Florida girl. I'll see if I can remember your name. Caitlin says thanks. Yes, down the road from E-Town. Yeah. Got you. Yeah, no problem. Tornado sirens weren't even going off. The pressure, then the creeks crashing, the window crashing. Happened so quick. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like sometimes it'll go from 0 to 100. Let's see here. Hey, I appreciate the education. Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Anytime. That's what I'm here for, you know. And that's what it's really cool. Is like there's just so much in the weather, and I haven't even scratched the surface of really kind of what goes in the weather. And all the stuff that I picked up over the several years I've done this. I mean, I've been doing this, well, not on YouTube, but I've been studying weather for probably close to 10 years now. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long journey. Does tomorrow have the right conditions for a tornado breakout or more of a wind thing? It seems to be a majority, or it seems to be the main concern of a wind threat. It does seem like a big wind bag with tornadoes. So, yeah, potential for both, actually. Yeah, it seems like the main concern is going to be strong wind, but yeah, we could definitely see some tornadoes going on too. Indeed. So yeah, we'll have to make sure that you guys are staying safe out there. For sure. Let's see here. Anyways. LB says, when I get paid, I'll send cash. Oh, you don't got to do that, my friend. Nah. You guys don't got to donate. I appreciate the people who do. I really do. Because, you know, it helps us out. But, nah, you don't got to do that, Raider. I'm just glad to help. I am happy teaching it, to be honest with you. It's just, I just love the subject so much. I could talk about it all day. I love it, man. It's so cool. So cool. It can be scary, but it's cool. But, you know, it's like once you understand weather more, I've noticed you become less scared of it. I don't know. At least to me, anyways. I could see where some people could see the opposite, but I don't know. You understand what's coming more, if that makes sense. Like you could look at radar, you could look at satellite, you could look at all kinds of stuff and be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm in store for. So you kind of have a better understanding of what the environment could do and your probability of seeing whatever. So, anyways. All right, we got a new tornado warning here, or updated one, I should say, which includes still for Selma, Danby, Missouri. This is almost on the border of Illinois, by the way. This is Illinois. This is Missouri, including Bloomsdale still. So I got the one from Fredericktown to in Markwind. 22 minutes on the southern one and 7 minutes on the northern one. And then the rest is just a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings. But yeah, we definitely do got to be weather aware tomorrow too, guys. We'll make sure that you guys are staying up to date. I'll work on something tomorrow. I think we're gonna do a weather update stream for you all tomorrow morning. I was going to this morning, but I did not get to it. I did make it short though, so I'm glad I got that out at least for you guys. But yeah, tomorrow we'll make sure to do a pre-event live stream. It'll probably be right around noon or so, and we'll go live for maybe an hour or two, kind of briefing on the subject, and then we'll head off. And then if conditions warrant, we might do night coverage tomorrow night. We might do some of that, so But anyways, folks, I'm probably going to roll off here soon, though. So, if you haven't already, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I think I'm going to roll off here for now. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. I think we just got a new severe thunderstorm watch for northeast Texas, including the Dallas area, southeastern Oklahoma. But yeah, if y'all have any final questions before I roll off here, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Renita says, Andrew, I took your advice and got a no-weather radio. Thanks for recommending me that, even though they are updating it on Wednesday. Hey, Renita, I am so glad to see that you got one. That makes me happy for you, Renita, because they are definitely life-saving. They really are, dude. So, Renita, it depends on what program or which one you got. If you got one that looks like mine back here, WR120, you can program them for your specific county, to where it'll only go off if your county is in the warning. Or you could have it to where it goes off for any warnings around you. So I have 3 behind me, as you can see on my wall. This one here goes off whenever my county is under a warning. This one goes off for the county to the west of me, because storms typically go from west to east, at least sometimes. So if that one goes off, I know that this one could go off without looking at radar and stuff. And then that one's for all of them, so that way I know. But I have them off right now because I don't want them scaring me in the middle of a stream. They'll give you a little jolt sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. Well, they alert you. They'll wake you up. See, thanks again so much. Yeah, no problem. You're very welcome, my friend. Of course, of course. All right, everybody. Well, final call for questions. Like I said, I'm going to roll off here. I'm getting tired. I'm going to get some sleep. But, yeah, tomorrow night, if conditions warrant, I'll go live once again for some coverage. So, definitely we're going to do a live stream tomorrow afternoon. Probably right around, like I said, noon or so, Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. I'm thinking noon. I mean, it could be a little bit later. Depends. We'll see. But yeah, we'll make sure to keep you guys updated. All right. Alrighty, everybody. Well, you all take care. Y'all be careful out there. Yeah, a lot of today's events dwindling down for sure. You know, that lack of that daylight heating really can make a toll on some storms, and I think that storms are starting to feel the lack of the daylight heating right now. Mine goes off when any county around me scares me half to death. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Holy cow. That's funny, dude. Hey, but you know what? I'd rather it scare me a few times than me going unknown to what's going on, you know? You know, it's certainly useful. But, Renita, I'm really happy that you got one, for sure. Absolutely. All right, see you later, Raider. Thanks for joining. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? We'll be back tomorrow afternoon for an update. Okay? Alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. You all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. You guys sleep well. Try not to worry about the weather. We'll get through this. But, hey, you know what? Actually, before I roll off here, real quickly, let me show you the outlook here. So here's today's risk, which the moderate at this point is already over with. We do have tomorrow's threat, which is pretty big. Then going into day 3 for Wednesday, we got a little marginal. So Wednesday should be fairly simple. I say that now. Wednesday won't be as significant. Ooh, we do got a new tornado warning here that extends into Illinois, including Belleville, Mascota, Lebanon, Smithton, Waterloo, Redbud, and Macystown, Evansville. Yeah, so make sure you guys are in your... This is Evansville, Illinois, by the way, not the big one in Indiana. But yeah, so then we have, like I said, Wednesday's threats. Then we go into Thursday. As of right now, nothing for Thursday, nothing for Friday, nothing for Saturday, nothing for Sunday, nothing for Monday. Now, lastly, before we move on, taking a peek at the tropics, we finally have our outlooks now. We are not expecting anything in the Atlantic for the next 7 days, and we're not expecting anything in the Pacific, Eastern anyways, and we're not expecting anything Central. No surprises there. Tropics are still quiet for now. The beast will awaken at some point. All right, y'all. We're rolling off for real now. Thanks for joining, guys. Stream's going to head off here in approximately 1 minute, so go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat. And like I said, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon for another update. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. See you all later on. Peace out, my friends. Catch you all in the next one.